Okay, so let's go over the study guide. First things first, identify the vertex and x-intercepts algebraically. There are two ways to go about it, and I will go over both ways mathematically with you. So first way is you can complete the square and set it up equal to 0 to find the vertex and x-intercept. So first, completing the square, I'm going to group the x and 20x together, add a space, add the 7 with a space. Half of 20 squared, so let's see, 20 half of that squared, well that is 10 squared, so that gives me 100. So I add 100 one side, that means I subtract 100 the other side. That gives me half of 20, it's 10, so this is x plus 10 squared minus 93. So now all I have to do, this is my vertex form. So my vertex is negative 10, negative 93. To find the x-intercepts, I can then set it equal to 0 and solve. So x plus 10 squared minus 93 equals 0. X plus 10 squared then must equal 93. Square root both sides. X plus 10 must equal plus or minus the square root of 93. And then x must equal negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 93, which are my x-intercepts. So those are my two answers right there. Another way is that I can, I'm gonna rewrite it here, x squared plus 20x plus 7, is that I can use this old formula that we've been giving before, x equals negative b over 2a, which is part of the quadratic equation to find your x. So that is negative 20 over 2 times 1, which gives me negative 10. And now I'm just going to plug that back in to find my y for my vertex. So y equals negative 10 squared plus 20 times negative 10 plus 7, which then is 100 minus 200 plus 7, which is 93, negative 93. So then my vertex from that is negative 10, comma, negative 93. Now to find my x-intercepts, I just got to use the quadratic equation, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So using that equation up here, I'm just going to plug in my numbers. So negative 20 plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 20 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7, all over 2 times 1. Simplify some more. So then this is 400 minus 28 over 2, negative 20 plus or minus 372 divided by 2. I don't know the perfect squares in 372, so I can either try to divide using my calculators or I can make a factor tree. So if I divide 372 by 2, break this down using a factor tree, I get 2, 186, divide that by 2 some more. I get 2, 93, and then I get 331. So here's my pairs. Here's my singles. Okay, so then this is negative 20. Oops. Moved around on me. So it'd be negative 20 plus or minus 2 root 3 times 31 is the 93 over 2, and it simplifies to negative 10 plus or minus root of 93. So this is our x, like so, and our vertex over here like so. So two different methods. Either method would be just perfectly fine on the test. Let's look at number 2. Find the quadratic function through these 2 points. The formula we want to use is our vertex form. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. This is h, k. This is x, y. Now I just got to plug it in and find a. So 8 equals a times 3 minus 5 squared minus 4. Now it's just simplify. 8 equals a times negative 2 squared minus 4. 8 equals 4a minus 4. Add 4 to both sides, so 12 equals 4a. Divide by 4, a equals 3. So now we got our form. So y equals 3, x minus 5 squared minus 4. This is our quadratic function. Number 3, find the right hand, left hand behavior. Here, the biggest exponent, it determines it. And this is a positive one. So if I quickly graph this, and you don't have to do this, I just want to know what the right hand and left hand are doing. But it's an x to the 4th, so it kind of looks like this going up. So with that, I know it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but I know it should somewhat look like that. So I know that my right hand is going up and my left hand is also going up. The next one, b, this is the largest exponent. It is negative. So it should, if I think about it, go like that. I am losing money here. That's how I think about when I think about not positives and negatives. Am I winning money, gaining money, or losing? This case, I'd be losing money. So here, my right hand is going down, but my left, it's going up. Next one, number 4, find all the real zeros of the polynomial. So keyword, real zeros, reduce if possible. So I'm just going to factor. I have 2t cubed plus 8t squared minus 26t. So here I'm going to factor out 2t. This leaves me with a t squared plus 4t minus 13. I know that there are no factors of 13 that will give me 4, so I can't factor this easily. So what I can do 2 things, and I'll break that up. I can complete the square, or I can do quadratic equation. So let's do quadratic equation first. First things first, t equals 0 because of the 2t. So that's always an answer. Quadratic equation, that gives me negative 4 plus or minus the square root 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 13 divided by 2 times 1. So that is negative 4 plus or minus 16. 4 times 13 is, get my calculator here, 52. So plus 52 over 2, negative 4 plus or minus the square root 68 over 2. I can do a tree. 68, this is 2, and 34, this is 2. 34 divided by 2 is 17. So these are our pairs. Let me double check that. So 2, 2, and we're good. And so now to simplify, so we got negative 4 plus or minus 2 root 17 over 2. So then that's negative 2 plus or minus root 17. And that will be the other zeros. right there. Now, just doing it by completing the square, first step's the same, factoring out the 2t. So if I factor this out, t squared plus 4t minus 13. This gives me t equals 0, so that's one of them. Now it's completing the square, t squared plus 4t plus that gives me a space minus 13 space. Half of 4 squared, that is 2 squared, so this is 4. This is t plus 2. This is 4 here. This is negative 4 here. This is minus 17. So then I set that equal to 0. And then t plus 2 squared equals 17. Square root both sides. T plus 2 equals plus or minus root 17. T must equal negative 2 plus or minus root 17. Like so.